Hello and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to what is going to be a bit of an academic chat. All things considered, being on my year abroad, that's not very normal, but I've sort of been reminded a little bit that I am actually doing a university degree at the moment, and I've sort of got a few things to say about that. I missed the bus and there's one coming in 20 minutes, so that's why I'm doing it now. So yeah, let's get into it. If you enjoy this video, do give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, stick them in the comment section below. I will answer them. In fact, I'm actually going to answer a viewer's question from another video in this one, so I do get back to you, and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get started. So what I wanted to talk about is the academic work that I have or have not been doing on my year abroad. Now, tutors recommend that we do some revision on our year abroad to help with our final year. Now that might be reading texts that we had in second year, because obviously everything we do in second year we have to remember until the end of fourth year. But it could also be watching some online lectures, studying vocab, and in fact we are actually sort of advised to leave 2 months or so on our year abroad out of the sort of 15 that we really have to do revision. First of probably many interruptions from editing Arthur. 15 months because technically we finish in June and we go back in October, so, you know, it's not really a year, it's a bit more. Now, I started by thinking that yes, I wanted to do revision and I really wanted to sort of help myself in my fourth year for my exams. The reality has been slightly different in that I haven't done much at all. Now, in the first half of my year abroad in France, I was doing a fair amount. Actually, no. In total, I probably only watched 4 online lectures on Molière, an author I studied last year. But, you know, at least it felt as though I was doing something. Then, when I went home and I had sort of a month and a half at home between France and Argentina, I didn't do anything at all. But I actually think that helped me. And instead of sort of feeling stressed that I hadn't done any revision, I actually felt really good that I hadn't. And I think that's sort of a point I kind of want to make. Sometimes what helps you not stress about work is not what you think might help you not stress about work. I thought that revising this year would help me feel better about next year, but what I needed in that month and a half of a break was a break, a proper break, because France was fairly tricky for me, I would say, and I just needed time to switch off. In that month and a half, I went to see my friends in Oxford a couple of times. I went to London for a day with my family. I went to see my grandparents. What else did I do? I just did a lot of reading, but for my pleasure. I did a lot of watching TV. I did some exercise, and it was just nice to kind of not worry about university work and actually have time to do nothing. I wasn't working, I wasn't studying, and it was just nice to have a break. Here in Argentina, I have done literally nothing. In France, at least I watched 4 lectures. Here, all I've been doing is putting vocab that I don't know into a vocab list and not looking at it again. So I guess I'll be using that next year for revision, but I haven't done much at all. I think I might have planned an essay in French about sport, but not written it. So again, I really haven't done that much. But the reason I'm sort of having this kind of random chat now is because my Spanish tutor is organizing my teaching for next year, and it's kind of like, ooh, I haven't done any work for 12 months. But thinking about it, I don't think the feeling has been that bad about not working. In fact, I think initially when she sort of sent through questions about what mock exams I wanted to do and what I was studying next year, so that she could organize my teaching, I was like, oh no. And I sort of felt really panicky like I did before first year when I had no clue what I was doing. But then I was like, but I've done this for 2 years and I know that I can get on track and do the reading and get prepared for my final year without stressing about it and without worrying too much. Yes, it will be a lot of work, but actually leaving myself time free from study here in Argentina, sort of working and then going home and doing nothing, has really just made me feel better. So that sort of immediate panic I had at being like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to write essays again, that went away really quickly, which was quite nice. So I think, I don't know what I'm saying about this. I'm just sort of talking a little bit about the work I've done, talking a little bit about the work that I definitely haven't done and, you know, how it's made me feel. But I definitely think that some people would benefit, and I know some people who have done loads of work in preparation for final year, and I know some people like me who have done nothing at all, and some people in the middle. And I think you just have to find what works for you in terms of revising or preparing for new courses and things and new subjects. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of, it feels a bit odd to be here in Argentina and knowing that in like 3-4 months time, I will be back in Oxford full time working again. But it's also kind of nice. The students are asking me, why don't you stay until December? And it's like, I kind of have to finish my degree. I don't want to leave because I'm having so much fun here, but I also need to finish my degree at some point. So yeah, but this has been brought about by those emails asking about what teaching I need organised and stuff like that. So I just wanted to, you know, have a chat about it. I have actually already been sent a reading list by one of my tutors who probably won't be teaching me next year because she's going on leave, but she's kind of the boss of Federico Garcia Lorca. And for clarification, I will buy the books when I get back to the UK and I will start reading them there. I am not thinking about it at all now. I've also sort of been given a reading/watch list for a special paper that I'm doing, which is Latin American film, which I'm very, very excited about. That's also not an examined paper, it's a coursework paper, which is kind of fun. So I'm gonna start having a look at that as well when I get home and I sort of start building into it again. So now I'm gonna move on to answer the question that I got asked under my reading list video, which is being sort of quite popular at the moment. And the question was about what is my process after receiving reading list and the essay questions, how I go about it. Now, the reading list video explains how I go about tackling a reading list and sort of breaking it down step by step to make it manageable. But I guess what people want to know is what bits of a reading list I leave out, because not all of it is compulsory. Lots of reading lists sort of have asterisks saying you must read this, and then they'll have other books that aren't compulsory at all. Now, obviously, primary material that is compulsory, I will read. Absolutely, I will read. And that's it, basically. I won't read any of the secondary material or any of the non-compulsory primary material until I get to Oxford and if I feel that I need to. Primary material being the novels, the poetry collections, the short stories written by the author I'm studying or written as sort of entertainment, you could say. Secondary material being academic articles and reports and investigations that scholars have done about the primary material. And actually the secondary material that I do read, and even extra primary material that I do read, will be based on essay questions that I get given. So if an essay question is asking about a topic that is tackled in one of the primary compulsory texts and one of the other primary texts that isn't compulsory, I will read that other primary texts, but while I'm in Oxford. And beforehand, because I don't really know exactly what I need to read or what I'm going to be writing about, I just stick with the compulsory things, and it sort of helps me break things down. So I go through those, and then once I get my essay sort of list for the term, I will decide what secondary material I might need to read and what additional primary material I might need to read. But I will generally do that on a week-by-week basis. I will sort of just decide that on the fly. But I can't remember, who asked that question, but I hope that answers it. And yeah, that is kind of the end of this very chaotic video with not much thought gone into it at all. I mean, I'm literally standing here at the bus stop. It's a good use of my time, actually. Yeah, not much direction to that video, but I hope you found it interesting. And if you did, please do give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out. As I said, ask any questions below and subscribe if you haven't already. Stay tuned.